Hi, I'm Chuck.
And Deb.
Welcome to the Chuck-n-Deb Show. All right, this is our debut video, if you will. But we've decided to get started, and we want to urge you to get started at whatever it is in your life you choose to get started at. Now, we have a burning desire on the Chuck-n-Deb Show. That's Chuck and Deb. And that burning desire is to help you succeed in every area of life. We want to provide what, Deb?
Powerful transformational information that will help define your destiny.
And that way it'll get you closer to your dreams and desires, okay? So we're going to go ahead and get started here. Recently, we've been going through some changes, and we've had to make some decisions. And so it's like a transformation of things that we're going through that required a lot of thought. It's just not your everyday just thoughts and decisions of ideas that you had to make on a daily basis. These are life-changing events and life-changing decisions that we've had to make. So we sat down the other day, and we had to sit down and go through them one by one and work them out from beginning to end. And so as we were going through that, we thought, well, wouldn't this be a great video to share with others about the process that we went through and what we learned, what we did about it, and how it might be able to help you. So I've talked a little bit too much, and I'm hoping Deb's going to talk more than I am, but we'll see about that. So go ahead, Deb.
Well, a couple of things that we wanted to share with you. As Chuck said, we talked at length about a variety of different things that we were going through, the changes, what that might look in the future, how it looks today, and what we choose to make that look like tomorrow. So a couple of really great learning opportunities as we went through this that we wanted to share with you is goal setting was one of those important things. So as you're going through major changes in either your career, your personal life, family life, whatever that may be, there's so much, sometimes it gets confusing and can be very overwhelming. But what we wanted to do for us to help get through that transition is just break it down in simple bite-sized steps, and that started with some goals. So what we did was we put a projection out for the next week and a half of exactly what we wanted to achieve decision-wise, what that looked like in outcome, what that also looked like in an income perspective, and then what decisions would hinge on that future moving forward. So what would you like to add about that, Chuck?
It's funny that you call me Chuck. Anyway, I think, when we started the process, it was a matter of, we started off with a discussion, and then we realized that it was a little bit more in depth than just a discussion, and that, like as Deb mentioned, we had to plan it. We had to come up with some goals, and we had to put it on paper. The first thing we did was said, let's go get a piece of paper and pen. And Deb had hers notebook, I had my notebook, and there's one good thing about that, because if you get this notebook and if you carry it around with you and you begin to use it, you're actually able to reflect back to where you've even maybe covered some of these things before, and you're able to look, and it might even help you where you are today. So that's all I've got to add, but why don't we get started on whatever you've got written down here that we want to share with the folks today.
Okay, one important thing I think that we both understand and have come to value in each other is that we've got different strengths and different weaknesses that we can utilize
I don't have any weakness.
Together to
Right.
get better together. So that was what we had to focus on as we were meeting those goals and objectives, is what my strengths could add value to and what his strengths could add value to, and how together we were able to bring a big picture to both of us moving forward. So also it was important is to think about what value we bring to the marketplace. So we have very different backgrounds, although we do have a lot of similarities, but one common element was to add value to others. And that was one way that we could do that in writing our goals, was to share this with each and every person that has a desire to kind of just muddle through that change in a little bit better way the next time.
Okay, well, just keep on going, because I don't want to be doing any muddling myself.
No, but it's always uncomfortable. It's always a little stressful, no matter what change you've got going, and no matter how adaptable you are to change. I personally am the type of person that gets excited about change, because I know in change comes growth and opportunity, and not everyone sees it that way. Sometimes it can cause stress and anxiety, and sometimes it can be so overwhelming that you just shut yourself down. So by taking these small bite-sized steps, maybe days at a time when that's necessary, or weeks at a time like we did, and set very clear specific goals, and then day by day we look at those goals and just remind each other, are we reaching closer to our goals by the activities we're doing, or is it pulling us away? And I'm so grateful that yesterday Chuck was great to remind me, is it bringing us closer to that goal, or is it pushing us away? So we have to keep each other accountable, which is another very important part if you have an accountability partner. And if not, writing it down can always keep you accountable as well.
And I think it's important that, Deb's saying goals. I know there's a lot of people out there, even for me, for quite a long time, I had issues with the words goals. And if you need to substitute the word goals with task, whatever works for you, basically what we wrote down as the goals, well, we knew what we wanted to do. You had to know where you're going, okay, in order for you to do these goals. You have to know what your end result is. So you've got to be able to formulate a plan to get the end. So you've got to, if you will, live in the end and then work backwards. So we know where we want to be, and we have to work backwards in order to start putting things in order to get to where we want to end up. Hopefully that makes sense.
So the most important part, I think, that we're finding now is, since we have it written down, is making sure that we follow that plan on a daily, weekly basis, and even sometimes hour by hour, moment to moment. And so I think that we're both working diligently at working that plan, and then with that plan, it's small baby steps every single day in disciplines. As one of my great mentors, Jim Rohn, talks about, are those small daily disciplines will get you to the end and the big results. So I think our mindset is so focused in today's society of a quick fix and a very easy solution, but that's not what change really brings about. Change is hard. Change takes discipline, ongoing, and our human nature tendencies sneak up on us. And we think that we're not seeing the results as quickly as we thought we should. And all of a sudden we start to, little by little, slip back into old behaviors and old patterns. So it's important, as you move forward through this change process, is that you stay diligent to the process and follow your plan.
Well, what I think's very interesting here, Deb, you probably haven't even thought about this, but it just popped in my mind, because as we went through this process the other day, something unique happened today to you. So that actually diverted our plan. Okay? So there's going to be things that happen. And in this particular instance, it could possibly be a good thing. Sometimes we're going to run into those things that want to detract us. Okay? So we got to be careful of just expecting things to go easily, because no matter how laid out, how systematic you've got things down, no matter how well you think you have things planned, things change, okay? And part of, Deb, we probably haven't even thought about this, so it's just a matter of us sitting here and talking about it right now. Just think, when we sat down and made those plans and those goals, and we decided where we were going to go, what happens was we created an intention.
Yes.
Okay? And so we put this out there, and as a result of putting our plans, our desires, our goals, our wishes, our desires, our dreams, whatever you want to call it, out there, the universe, if you will, or however you want to frame it, reacted. Okay?
Yes.
Something changed. Something took place. But nothing takes place if you don't take action. All right? So we got to be able to take action. We got to get things down on writing. We've got to do this. We've got to get this plan down. Without the plan, I'm telling you right now, what happened today to Deb, and what Deb has an opportunity for now, is as a result of us sitting down and going through the process. We know that this can work for you too. I hope that we have given you some things. Did you cover everything that was on your list, Deb?
I did. And one thing I wanted to add to what you were just talking about that I think is critically important is that when you lay that intention and the shift begins to happen around you, you have to be open to receive the opportunities that present themselves, because it may not be what your plan had
Part of the
written,
plan is right now,
but it may work perfectly with the plan if you're
whole...
open to it in a different way than you ever anticipated. So it may become quite literally bigger than you ever imagined. And so it's just a matter of taking advantage and being open to opportunities that may be right in front of you. And I've been experiencing that for the last several days in many small ways. Thinking about a particular item first thing in the morning and then have someone ask for it a few hours later, just as an example. And that just happened to me the other day, thinking about something or leaving a little bit later from a destination, and quite literally 30 seconds prior to my getting to that location, an accident happened that I was not involved in. So I think those small changes and shifts, when we shift, as Chuck had mentioned, I think can make a huge and dynamic transformation for you. So,
well, we don't want to keep people too long, but Deb, I have to throw this out there, because as we were sitting down, I used some pens as a description, right?
yes.
And I said, this pen is here, this is our vehicle, and this pen is where we're going to want to go. And it goes back to what you were talking about. Change can take place. It may not look like it's the right thing at the right moment, but if you have the end in mind, okay, we know where we are, we have our vehicle, and we know where we're going, then that's what matters. So sometimes there's a grand plan, and we might not be able to see the grand plan on how we're going to get from here to there. And there are going to be forces that, if we're doing the right things, moving in the right directions, taking action, that will get us to where we want to be. All right? Anything you want to finish up, Deb?
I just want to say, have faith, have trust, and believe that transformation can happen and great things can happen to you. So thank you for joining us. We are so grateful to have you viewing our video, and we will continue to share as our journey progresses and hopefully bring great insight and powerful transformation for you.
Yep. Thanks for watching the Chuck and Deb Show. We should have a link either on this page somewhere or below this video. So please go ahead and click on that link. You'll be able to subscribe so that you can get notices and get on our email list so that we can keep you up to date on how we're moving along. We've got a ways to go with the Chuck and Deb Show, but today we just got started. And we're grateful that you tuned in and paid attention. If you lasted this long, thank you so much. And if you got something out of it, please comment, okay? Please comment, like, and share. We would definitely appreciate that. If there's any special topics or questions or anything that you need to ask, go ahead and enter it in there, because we want to help. It's in Deb's and I's heart to help other people, and that's all we want to do here. That's what this is about. So if we can help you in any particular way, we'd love to be able to do it. And again, I'm Chuck.
And Deb.
And thank you so much for watching the Chuck and Deb Show.
See you next time.